Oh, hey, book nerds. What's going on? Are you still freaking out? Are y'all passing that joy on? Let the joy roll on. You know, there's nothing wrong with 7-Eleven coffee. When budget, sometimes you just need a 7-Eleven coffee. Anybody else freaking out? Am I freaking out? Hey book unicorns, welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's that time of year again. It's that time of year. It's that time of year again. It's that time of year. It's the time of year where I look back and I see I didn't really stick to hardly any of my goals. Souls recap real quick. What were my goals from this year? I don't even remember what my goals was. Girl, what were my goals? Let me get my reading journal. Oh, reading journal.
So,
what had happened with this was isn't it pretty though? The binder is pretty. That child, look at this. I have kept, honey, ain't nothing in here. Honey, ain't nothing in here. I kept up till about April, and then, honey, ain't no reviews in here. I mean, we got a little something going on. I rolled some B-roll. You can see a little something. Honey, ain't nothing in this reading journal. Ain't nothing in it. I kept up real strong with it. I did. But let's see if I actually wrote what my goals was. Let's do a goal recap of the goals that I do remember. But I'll link my reading goals. For me, the goals I set. If I see that I'm not going to meet the goal, it changed the goal and meet the goal. For me, I don't ever want to feel like I'm like striving to accomplish or to do something. I always want to have fun. And if I sense I'm not having fun or I'm like pushing myself, I free myself. Feel like there was some Agatha Christie. Wait, do I got another reading journal? Are these carryover goals from last year? Where's my other reading journal at? I need to see if I got carryover goals. What was it last year? Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, I'm ready. Read my physical shelves. I haven't really been keeping up with my electronic spreadsheet either. My Goodreads goal this year was 72 books. I've actually read 62 books. Really on track to finish goal this year. Probably about half of those books were read from my physical shelf, so that's really good because last year I read 94. So this year I feel like I need to kind of tick it up a bit. So reading my physical shelves, still trying to keep to that goal, but we'll see. Complete 10 series. Woo, y'all, I don't know how many series I completed 2 series this year. Thursday Murder Club, my Sleuth and Senior Citizens. I reread the Left Behind series, but I do have one book left. I have book 13, which is Kingdom Come. So I will officially complete that, but can you really count that because I've read it like 3 times. So I've only ever completed 1 series. So I think I need to change that goal too. I read 12 book of the month. Yeah. So that stack right there, I don't know if you can see the stack. There's a stack. That stack right there. There's a stack here. Yeah, that stack of that. I don't even know if y'all can see that in the front. You pissed it from Books of Jam, a really cool book of the month reading challenge. So I'm gonna link that. I want to participate in that as well. That's gonna definitely give me incentive to finish my left book of the month books. I do want to let y'all know that your girl, I ended my toxic relationship with book of the month. There comes a point where you have to acknowledge your wrongdoing and take responsibility. And I realized that I desired that blue box, the appearance of that blue box, more than the actual books that came with it. And girl, those books, either I loved them, I liked them, or I unhauled them. And the unhauled percentage was a lot higher than the like.
book of the month who?
Another goal was to read more Agatha Christie and more Jane Austen, which that works out perfect because hopefully by the time you see this, this will be Jane Austen July. I'm gonna say Jane Austen August too, because why not? Let me go get my Jane Austen books. I'll be back. So So for Jane Austen Summer, I'm just going to call it Jane Austen Summer, Mansfield Park and Pride and Prejudice. I'm going to be leaning a little bit more into Jane Austen this summer and then some more Agatha Christie. I'm excited about that. So let's get into this freak out tag. I'm taking about talking about all my goals and stuff, all the goals I ain't met. Let me go on. Best book you've read so far this year. Scaria by Tosca is my favorite book so far this year. I did a dedicated book review to this book. It is biblical retelling Judas Iscariot, the man who betrayed Jesus. This was incredibly impactful, and the research and the writing impeccable. Tosca is one of my favorite authors. I highly recommend this book. Best sequel you've read so far this year. I didn't tell y'all some of these questions I have more than one answer because there's so many good books. So the best sequel I've read so far this year is Circles of Seven, Dragons and Our Myths, book 3 by Brian Davis. Was the best book so far in this series. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I talked about it in my April-May wrap-up. Venture, found family, dragons, good science fiction, Christian faith elements.
So good!
Also, I enjoyed The Thursday Murder Club, The Man Who Died Twice, and The Bullet That Missed. These sleuthing senior citizens, y'all better leave them alone. They're gonna come up and be solving all the crimes, be all in your business. It was so much fun. A secondary romance plot. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. Book 5. Is it? Wait. Is it 3? 1,
2, 3. Iron, Dark Age. 4, 5, 6.
It's the 6th book in the Red Rising saga. Let me go get the books. But this is the first one. I read Red Rising Saga in 2021. I really enjoyed it. I gave this particular one like 3.75 stars. It had a little bit of a predictability, a little bit of a YA vibe to it, but that was okay. But Golden Sun took it to a whole nother level for me. I went intergalactic with Morning Star. I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I have yet to read Iron Gold or Dark Age, which is book 4 and 5. At the end of Morning Star with Brother Pierce, you're not going to have me in a chokehold, sir. I'm going to wait until your next book come out because I'm going to need to know. Excited for Lightbringer, which meets space opera meets the Iliad. Biggest disappointment. That's going to be 2 books. The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I really enjoy N.K. Jemison's writing. Want to enjoy her books. I haven't enjoyed that many and that bums me out. The City We Became was the second book in the city's duology. Overall, it just read like she didn't even want to write the book. Fast forward to her acknowledgments and read that. What really disappointed me about this book, I think I was just so hyped about it. I really liked the first book, although the first book is definitely has like a rated R like grittiness to it. I really enjoyed the urban fantasy setting of New York City and the different bureaus and represented different aspects of the city and different superpowers. But when I got to book 2, I was just hoodwinked and hotjinked. The last book was Spy Family Volume 9. Again, I talked about this in my April-May wrap up. But hey y'all, editing Chrissie here. Volumes 5 and 3. 3 and 5 were kind of shaky with the weird brother. Kind of had me on the track of semi-disappointment as well. Book 9 yeeted it off the cliff. I hope that provided additional clarity. One of the episodes in the manga had alluded to child sexualization, and that made me feel very uncomfortable to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't think I need to finish reading this series. Proceed with some caution. But if it falls, it falls. Biggest surprise. Curse of Misty Wayfarer by Jamie Jo Wright and Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. Both of these books have a spooky, gothic setting. Cautious Chrissie here all the time, every day. Hello, my name. That's who I am. Thoroughly enjoy both of these books. I gave them both 4 stars. Surprised me because they're books I don't hardly ever gravitate toward. Those definitely surprised me this year, and I highly recommend them too. They were fantastic. Favorite new author, debut, or new to me author? That's gonna have to go again to Jamie Jo Wright and Gabrielle Meyer, both Christian fiction authors. Gabrielle Meyer writes more historical fiction, and Jamie Jo Wright more suspense, thriller, kind of eerie. I'm all in for their books now. I'm all in. I'm all in for everything they talking about. They talking about what they talking about. I'm here for what they talking about. I need to know. Hey y'all, editing Chrissie here again. Newest fictional crush. I think I struggled with this answer last year, but I wouldn't say it's a crush, but I'll reframe it and say newest favorite male character. Probably have to be Luke from Authentically Izzy. I absolutely love reading Luke on page. I am so excited for Loyally Luke, which I think comes out next year if I'm not mistaken. I liked him as a character. Back to video. Really, I don't normally read romance books. In May, I definitely read a lot more romance books to kind of see where I would feel comfortable at, see if there would be palate cleansers, and I was pleasantly surprised. And Luke, I can't wait for his book to come out. Miss Pepper, if you watching, girl, we excited. Girl, I'm so concited. Huh? I am so concited. Chrissie definition here. So concited means congratulations and excitement, and together it's concited. And so you're happy for someone else, but also excited for your own partake in said thing. It causes a lot of concitement, right? Okay. Concitement. Newest favorite character. This is going to actually go to the children of unfortunate events. I really like the kids in this book. Their spontaneity, how brilliant and smart they were, and just how they bonded together and they took care of one another and they were not afraid to speak up. I'm really excited to continue in that series. As I start a new series. Your girl ain't finished now. Book that made you happy. XOXO made me so happy. I just smiled and giggled when the man came on the scene. It's a man! XOXO just made me so happy in the purest of ways. I really love the little slow burn romance between the two characters, exploring the culture, and it made me so happy. And every time I think about XOXO, I smile. Book that made you cry. When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer.
Y'all, I wept.
I literally saw such a powerful, impactful story. I talk about it in my April-May wrap-up, so I'll link that in the cards. And it wasn't just the kind of cry that you're like, oh gosh, that's really sad or that's touching. It was the kind of cry that shocked you. Gabrielle said, yeah, I got some tears down. I need to spark your tear duct. This book just wept and wept with joy, with realization. Let me move on. But yeah, this made me cry. A movie or TV show you watched this year that was inspired by a book. I haven't watched any TV shows that have been inspired by a book so far this year. I don't really have an answer for that question. I think once I read some Jane Austen, I probably can answer this question for sure. Most beautiful book you have acquired this year. Tress of the Emerald Sea. When you just look at how beautiful this is, hopefully the light I can't tell because I got my camera flipped, so I don't know what's going on in the viewfinder, but it's literally beautiful. Tress of the Emerald Sea is by Brandon Sanderson. This, I guess when he's stressed out, he writes books, and so we're all benefiting. Foil. And the little girl, look at it. Oh my gosh, look at the bag. It's beautiful. When I read it, I'll open it. And the final question, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? Second time in a row. Jade. Jade Legacy. Listen. It's not because I'm not hyped about this book. I will say though, this is definitely a rated R type reading for fantasy. Very intense themes. Definitely keep that in mind. Look up those trigger warnings. Still haven't read this because I'm really thinking about the familial impacts of all the said things. So we're gonna see. And then Used to Be by John Steinbeck. All right, so with this one, I started it. Listen, I started this at some point this year. I don't know, maybe it was February. I'm not sure. Starting off really great. 40 pages that I've read, I have thoroughly enjoyed. Touching it with a subscriber, Gabrielita. Hey girl, hey. And she's reading Isabine too. She's significantly far ahead. And I said, well, just to catch in with you, I'm still on page 35.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm on page 40. We gotta get these done. All the other books, we'll get there. But these two have been hounding me. They've been on my bed. These are the priorities for this year. Will they show up next year? Highly probable. So far, my reading year has been really great this year. I've read a lot of books outside of my comfort zone, a lot of romance and spooky books, and I really am enjoying it. I'm doing a lot of rereads this year as well. I've read a handful of the other books from my 2023 TBRs. I gotta jump and really get those in. Whatever we're reading, whenever we read, wherever we read, let's read to just continue to have fun. And I'm so appreciative of everybody here in the community. Got some new subscribers. Hey y'all, hey. So let's chat in the comments about all things and all the questions down below. Feel free to answer any of the questions. This was so much fun to do this tag again this year. Thank you so much, Holly, for tagging me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.